Daylight saving time ends Sunday, and UW health experts say parents should put their children to bed early before we lose that hour of sleep. Doctors say kids of any age thrive on routines, especially their sleep schedule. And if it's disrupted, they may struggle to adjust or concentrate. Parents should also talk to their children about bedtime changes, not just before they head to bed. Some tips offered: put your children to bed 15 minutes early every day leading up to Sunday. It might just stop them from being cranky.
It helps us form our emotions, help us learn during the day. So it's really important for school, helps us with emotional regulation. So knowing how to respond appropriately to the big feelings that we're having. And it's linked to depression and anxiety. Having a good night of sleep can help our mood.